Hello everyone, it's Bernina Jeff in Grand Junction, Colorado. I'm not an employee of Bernina of America. I have a dealership here in Western Colorado, and I like to show you ways to maintain your own machine and keep it running and sewing and keeping it great. So today I'm going to give you some guidelines and some intervals for oiling and maintenance and that sort of thing. So it's always important to refer to your manual. Bernina prints out a manual for every machine. Some companies you have to print it yourself, or it's only online or on a PDF, but this is a manual for a Bernina 990 Pro and
790.
yeah, 790 Pro. And you have to kind of look for the maintenance section. It's not really easy to find. It's usually section 17 or 18. So you go into the context and embroidery. Usually on the behind embroidery, it's got care and maintenance. So it has all these different areas. So we're going to go to page 177, and it gives you care and maintenance, updating firmware, a whole bunch of different things that you should be doing to maintain your machine. It's important to check these out to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and especially cleaning the hook and oiling it. And that's what I had started back in COVID, and it's what created this channel, is cleaning and getting through the maintenance process and lubricating. So one of my big pet peeves is having a better oiler. This red capped oiler, it has the exact same oil in it as what is given to you in your original box, the Bernina oil. It's a Velocite number 6. I have a 2-inch needle tip oiler. You can actually buy an extender, a 3-inch tip. Those you can find on my Shopify account. That's bernina-jeff.myshopify.com. And they just screw in to what's already there. If you can, if this ever gets plugged up, we have a wire we're trying to include with all of the oilers now, so you can poke it through the tip and get the tip unclogged. Very important to oil it. I have an oiling method which is top-down oiling method. It's a little different than what you see on your video on the machine. So to show you this one more time, we pop off the plate, and when the machine stops, we want to get way down in there. Machine stops, wait right in there. There's a shiny little pointy tip, and you want to put a drip of oil on that, and then sew a sample for about 5 or 6 inches to get the excess oil so it doesn't ruin your project. It actually says that in the manual. So what is the oiling interval? That is stated in the manual. Oil it regularly. So I called up or text Bernina, and they said regularly is when you start hearing a noise or a click down below, or every 2 to 3 bobbins full of thread, you need to be oiling the hook. And you also need to take the hook out and oil the pads that are inside the hook. So this is the bobbin and bobbin case. You slide the hook retainer erase out of the way. You pull out the hook. And inside there, this one has 2 colors, but there's 2 little pads. You want to oil those probably on a weekly basis. So you have to pull all this apart to oil that. And then once it's out, you can put oil on the outside edge before you put it back in. Here's a little tip on putting it back together. There's a center circle and then a silver dot. Put that silver dot straight down at 6 o'clock. Put this like a turtle and put the hole toward that silver dot. Swing it up. Rotate your hand wheel 1/4 of a turn until it snaps in and goes in, and then make sure it turns all the way before you turn your machine to sewing. So that's an easy way to oil and maintain your hook. So remember that oiling interval, I say it's 2 to 3 hours of sewing, 2 to 3 bobbins full of thread. It all depends upon how fast you sew. If you're doing freestanding lace like snowflakes or lace or that sort of thing, I'd recommend oiling it about every hour. If you get brown thread that used to be white coming up to your embroidery, you have gone past the oiling interval, so you need to oil it more often. If you don't really saturate it and drown it, I haven't had any problem with that oil coming up and ruining my project. This Velocite 6 tends to blend out or dissipate out in your project, so it doesn't really ruin it. So things to remember is check your maintenance for the oiling and maintenance procedure. Bernina wants you to do that, and if you ask your tech and that sort of thing. One thing, if you're going and taking your machine into a technician at a Bernina shop, you don't tell them Bernina Jeff said. That tends to get them very defensive. They have their ways that work great for them. I have my ways that work great for me. And every way that I have tried has been approved, or I read it somewhere in literature. So don't use Bernina Jeff said to a tech or a dealer. It tends to get them very defensive. Listen to what they have to say and take it in context. I've had people say, Bernina Jeff said this, and I went through every video and I never said it. So it's something they were watching in another video, they got confused and thought that I was giving them guidance. So I've never gotten really in trouble. I've had to take a video or two down because I gave too much information and was taking jobs away from technicians. So anyway, this is Bernina Jeff. All of my products can be purchased at bernina-jeff.myshopify.com. We actually will fill your order in person. You can call the shop at 970-256-1293. I answer all my emails at jpvlefty@aol.com. If you missed any of these, they'll be down in the description. If I get really ambitious, I'll make an editing on this and put some of those that run across the screen as this plays. So thank you very much. Please subscribe and hit the like button. This keeps my channel active and more visible to everybody that needs the help. So thank you.